Hey, what's up? Welcome to Day in the Life of a Digital Marketer. People are liking this sort of daily show I'm doing. I'm going to keep at it for a bit. We'll see how long it takes me to fall off the horse. Today, I want to talk to you about what I woke up with today, or what I walked into today, which is a struggle where we've got an account that's been doing well. In the last 3 days is slowly getting crappier. Cost per actions are getting more expensive. So what's happening? Well, my first step was to dig in and look and see if things are staying the same. And what do I mean by staying the same? Well, I want to know, like, is our traffic more expensive? Like, are we paying more for an impression, or more for a view, or more for a click? So is that causing the issue? Because sometimes that can happen. Our audiences start to burn out, or things start to go wrong there. So that's one option. Or has the ad fatigued? Like, it's just had like 1 million impressions and now it's not working as well anymore. Also possible, right? So try to keep emotion out of things. This is the hardest part of being a digital marketer, is not letting emotion take over, and not letting your feelings of losing money or losing a client, or you're no good, or you can't make this work again, take over, and you get analysis paralysis. Then you can't move ahead on that, because guaranteed you won't fix anything in that state of mind. So here's how I try and keep myself calm and rational, because I still get emotional when I see things aren't working, especially if we're losing money, especially if it's been a bunch of days, right, where we're losing money. One, I just look at what I told you right now. What's changed, right? Because something's changed, not just the cost per lead, cost per result, cost per sale. Something has changed to do that. It might be your landing page conversion. It might be that the cost of traffic has gotten more expensive. You can look at that by looking at your CTR and your CPC. If your CPC is higher, why is it? Right? If you pay more for each click to the page and the page converts at the same rate, then cost per action, cost per lead goes up. If your CTR has gone down, right? If you're not getting as many clicks from your ad, and your cost per 1,000 impressions, your CPM is the same, well, then same thing happens. Your CPC goes up, and, you know, unless your landing page converts better, everything costs more. So there's two things I look for when this happens. One, is it the ad problem? Like, are we seeing a lower engagement rate? So like, not as many people are viewing the first 10 or 15 seconds, or the view rate's gone down, right? Is that the problem? So people aren't responding to that intro as well as they used to? Two, has the ad just been shown so many bloody times in the last 14 or 30 days that it's fatigued and we need to change that 10 or 15 seconds at the front end? Also a possibility. Three, has our CTR dipped, right? So if we're not getting as many clicks, like if our engagement and views are the same, but our CTR is down, is it just an anomaly today? Or let's look at the last 2, 3, 4 days. Has this been trending down? Also a sign of probably ad fatigue or audience fatigue. Or, and this can also happen, has our CPM just gone up, but everything else is the same? So like, is our view rate and engagement rate and our CTR the same, but now all of a sudden we're paying more per 1,000 impressions, which means our ad would, in order to keep everything the same, we'd have to have better CTR, better view rate, better engagement. And that just doesn't suddenly happen. Not that I've ever seen, right? So why am I babbling on about this stuff? To keep yourself emotionally grounded, you have to base it in quantitative analysis, in number analysis. If you go all emotional and you're like, oh, we got to write 100 new ads and pan are going to lose money, nothing good will come from that. Maybe you'll write a banger and it'll fix everything. But the times that that's happened for me versus not is like 1 out of 100. So I like to root myself in a stable grounding of numbers and analysis. So the other things that we tend to look at that can cause issues, obviously, are the actual, what I would call lead metrics. How many new ads have I been writing? How many new ads have I been testing? Have I been testing new intros and new audiences? Have I been making sure that I've got ads for all my placements? So like on YouTube, that might be, do I have a specific shorts ad that's working? Do I have a specific in-stream ad that's working? Do I have a specific ad for connected TV that's working? Do I have ads with good thumbnails that are working in feed, right? If I don't, then I'm going to go back to that first, right? I guess what it is if we've got commandments or like frameworks for how we run accounts, then we can take the emotion out of it. And if you don't have frameworks, then you're probably going to fall flat on your face, because emotion's going to rule you when things go awry. And things are going to head for the ditch. Things are going to go shitty some days. That's just how it works, right? So what I would encourage you to do, actually what I'm telling you to do, is grab a piece of paper and start writing out what your rules are for yourself with your campaigns. I can't tell you what your rules are. I can share with you some of mine right now, but you need to think about this. So one, based on how much you're spending in an account for a client or for your account, is going to determine how many new ads you have to test. So, and also how big of geography or space you're marketing to. So let's say that I'm marketing all across Canada, all across the United States, and I'm trying to spend $1,000 a day, and it's pretty broad offer. It's direct to consumer, and almost everybody could convert on it. then I probably only have to test 2 or 3 ads a week at that rate, right? Now, if I was trying to spend $100,000 a week, I'm probably going to need to test 10 or 20 ads a week, or maybe even more, because they're going to expire faster. Same thing would go if you're targeting a smaller geo. If you're just targeting one state, one city, one area, then you're going to need to making more ads because the chances of them overexposing, meaning they fatigue faster, is much greater because there's fewer people to see them, okay? So the amount of money you're spending and how big the geo is going to determine the creative cadence, how many ads you need to test a week, and you need to be keeping that in mind, because if you're testing too few ads, you're putting yourself at risk for not having the next winning creative or letting an ad basically fatigue and go crappy on you, okay? That's the first rule. The second rule is to look at each ad network you're running on, and this is everywhere now, except for maybe TikTok, but definitely with Meta and Google. There's all these different placements now, right? If you're advertising on Meta, you want a portrait video that responds to people that are looking at reels or stories. You probably want a different video that shows up in the feed on Facebook. You're going to want something that's probably got a static image on it for places like the marketplace placement or, third-party site placements and things like this. And what I would recommend you do is go in and look at your past 30 days results and break it down by placement and look at the ones that are most effective for you and focus at the one that is the most effective, that's getting the most impressions and most results, and start going down the list, right? Start creating specific creatives or making sure you have a working creative for each of those placements. One of the things I see so many people do that is problematic is they put time into fixing minor things. They put major time into fixing minor things. What I mean by that is, like, you've got a campaign that's crap in the bed. You're spending $1,000 a day, and this campaign that's spending $100 a day is crap in the bed, and you're putting all your time into trying fixing it and getting the CPA better. When this other campaign that's spending $900 a day is basically carrying everything, but you're not making any new ads or paying attention to that. Stop it. You're better to pause the $100 a day minor thing and refocus your energy on the major thing, okay? And that's a problem I see happen freaking everywhere, right? So that's the first thing. Look at the placements you've got. Make sure you've got specific creatives that are working for them. 3, so 1 is like, oh geez, I'm getting myself lost here. So 1 is your creative cadence. 2 is specific creatives for the specific placements. And that doesn't mean you need a totally new ad, but maybe it's a square versus a portrait, or maybe it's got a different intro versus another one. Maybe it's got captions or it doesn't, whatever, right? 3 is going to be, are you iterating or making new versions of your winning creative, right? So by far, the most effective use of your time is if you have a winning ad, that you start testing the first 10 or 15 seconds of it in different ways. And if you've got an actor doing it, maybe it's just doing different intros and different footage. If you've got an AI voiceover and you can use that same voice again, maybe it's simply taking that AI voice and getting 10 or 15 different versions of that intro, right? Saying the same thing, but in a different way. Maybe you're calling out the geo, maybe you're calling out who they are, maybe you're calling out their age, maybe you're calling out their gender, maybe you're calling out their problem, maybe you're calling out combinations of those things, right? Testing all different stuff and testing different visuals that they see. Because like I've said this in so many videos, and I keep hammering this home, is what ends up happening is in that first 10 or 15 seconds is when they're going to make the decision to stick around or not. And if they've seen the same 10 or 15 seconds of your ad 3 or 4 times already, they already have a decision, right? But if you change the voice, change what they see, change how it sounds, and it's different enough that they don't associate it mentally and subconsciously with the thing they saw before. Like if you're always showing a picture of a Canada flag in the intro of your video and it always says, hey, if you're a Canadian over 50, and they see that again, they're like, I already know what this is, right? But now if you show like a happy senior couple sitting on a swing at sunset and it's their silhouette and it's a male voice instead of a female voice, and you're like, if you're a Canadian couple and one of you was born before 1969, check this out. Different thing. You're saying the same thing, but you're showing something different, different voice, your pattern interrupt. Make sense? So basically this comes down to, there's only 3 to 5 things that make a difference in all of this. Yeah, there's like 100 toggle switches and buttons we can push. There's all kinds of different hacks and courses and all those things we can buy. But in reality, the only things that really matter are like, don't spend major time on minor things. Figure out what your creative cadence need to be, how many new ads you need to be testing based on your spend. Figure out what metrics should look like. So like if things are crap in the bed for you now, go back and look at what they used to look like before. Right? When it was going really good and everything was bang up super fantastic, what did the metrics look like? What was the CPM? What was the CTR? What was your cost per click? What was your cost per view? What was your landing page conversion? And like hang that up on your wall if you got on a sticky notes, that you're looking at that and being like, okay, if I don't have a click-through rate of 0.8% when CPM is, $10, then it ain't going to work, right? Just know that, right? This is part science, part luck, right? But, what is it? Luck is when hard work meets opportunity or something like that. I'm butchering that, but that's basically what media buying and copywriting successfully is. No one's got a golden statue that just writes a banger and a winner every time. People have hard work that meets the opportunity of success when they do enough of it. And if you're not doing enough of the hard work, meaning you're not writing enough ads, meaning you're not looking at your metrics enough, meaning you're not looking at what, right ads and right placements, meaning you're not working your major time on your major spend and your major fixes, and just flick yourself in the eye, because that's why stuff's not working for you. Because I got to do it to myself all the time. Literally flick myself in the eye because sometimes it ain't working. All right. So that's a ramble for today, but it's because I woke up this morning and saw that there was a campaign crap in the bed, and I'm literally writing now with my pens and stuff, trying to figure out, like, where am I going wrong here? And I know what I did wrong. I haven't been iterating on the successful ads. Don't have a short ad running. And yesterday I fixed the problem and got some TV ads running for this account, but I got to put the work in. I haven't been putting the work in. I've been distracted with other things that I'm trying to do, right? So I hope you like this. If you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, place your comments down below if you got questions about how to do stuff or how to figure it out. I'm going to try to stay on the horse and do one of these every day because they're useful. I know the YouTube algorithm is not what they're looking for maybe, but this is a good way for me to get sort of like verbally journal to all of you guys on what we're experiencing and what I'm trying to do each day. And hopefully it helps you figure some things out too. And if you want to get some more help from me, underneath this video, there is a link to grab my workshop on how to launch AI-powered YouTube ads campaign in as little as 48 hours. You can grab that completely free. It's like an hour plus worth of content that shows you literally all the stuff we're doing and how you can do it yourself. And if you want to work more closely with me and get on our office hours and Q&A calls, get some advice from me right inside our school group, there's a link underneath that as well. And you can join there. It's called the Ad Intelligence Collective. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.